This is how narratology trains teams how to communicate clearly. We draw inspiration for how to structure our training from the governing principles of the International Standard for Plain Language. And these principles are relevant, so giving people information that they need, making information findable, and making information able to be understood. And finally, making information useful to meet reader needs. Although our training doesn't go through the standard specifically, we use these broad concepts to structure the content of our courses. So the way we interpret training relevance is we look at methods for defining a purpose, different ways to research readers. We like looking at how to create personas for common segments. And then we discuss methods of how to make strategic decisions about the communication. We then look at whether the information can be found. And here we look at principles such as chunking the content. We look at the content design principles of bite, snack, meal. We look at progressive disclosure as part of that concept. We look at creating a hierarchy out of the information you want to present. And we look at the art of writing and creating and presenting good headings. Then finally, as our third part of our tree, we link the information that you can find with the need for the information by making that information understandable. And this is the sort of core part of any plain language course. We look at familiar words, jargon, and technical terms. We then look at sentences. And to us, sentence length and sentence complexity are different concepts. Too often in plain language checklists, we see length and complexity presented as the same thing. But of course, they are different. A short sentence can be very complicated, and a long sentence can be quite simple. So we look at sentence length and sentence complexity differently. And then as part of looking at simplifying complex sentences, we look at how you can use a subject, verb, object structure to write English language sentences clearly. Our courses don't shy away from grammar because it's important that you understand the components of a sentence so that you know how they can be written. The final principle that we look at is usability. And remember, this is the principle that talks about whether the reader can actually use the information to meet their needs. And the usability are the roots of our tree. And we notice that the roots of our tree, the usability, meets the relevance, because when we looked at relevance, remember we did the user research and we worked out the aims and desired outcomes of our communication. So usability is when we decide how we're going to measure that, how we're going to tell if it's a success or not a success. And depending on the needs of the team, there are many different ways that we look at this part of the training. We might look at readability scoring and heuristics and discuss how effective these are and the conditions in which they can be effective. We might use AI tools to help us. We might go into a deep dive on how to run user tests and how to use user tests. For enterprise-wide larger projects, especially for compliance with consumer duty, we might go more into monitoring and evaluation of the success, and we'll look at governance and advocacy issues. Quick summary of what we train and how we train. It's also worth noting that depending on that particular company or the particular team, we might talk about using AI, using artificial intelligence to help with every single one of these phases, or we might not talk about artificial intelligence at all. That really depends on the team we're training. If you want to learn more and want to book a course for yourself or for your team, contact us, info@narratology.co.uk. Thank you.